When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, passing your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the second-year man Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills as they take on a man back for a 16th NFL season, Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
And I'll bet right now there's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Throwing is Manning. It's complete to Golden Tate. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The numbers for Tate in last week's game: 6 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there, pick up the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And the starting offense now for the Giants.
And everyone's going to be watching running back Saquon Barkley, the rookie sensation in 2018. He will draw all the attention now on offense with Odell Beckham Jr. now in Cleveland.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Faking the give to Barkley. Now Manning looking deep downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big pickup of 38.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Manning. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd
into a double team and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. New York set to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit, thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
It's not often that you get 19-year-olds that enter the NFL, but this guy is absolutely special. Tremaine Edmonds out of Virginia Tech. 6'4", 250-plus pounds, can run like a deer. We just saw his ability to flash and make plays.
His brother Terrell also taken in the first round. First set of brothers taken in the first round of the same draft in NFL history. 23 yards the pickup there.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On the defensive side, this is the starting lineup for the Bills, and they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener, didn't allow much of anything at all through the air, so now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again. Manning. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's going to get this inside the 30. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
A first down carry for Barkley. And an alley to run. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage is coming through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Remember with Rosas, there was some speculation last year in the preseason that he might not hold on to his job with the Giants.
But he certainly answered the challenge, didn't he? 32 of 33 during the regular season. 97% that is. And was named to the NFC Pro Bowl team. And by the way, at 6'3", 234, he can bench press your kicker.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. LaShawn McCoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Alec Ogletree in on the stop. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the first round, late in the first round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he will take it all in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown on the season, and the Giants have taken the lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Tackle made by Marcus Golden.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing is Allen on third. And that's complete to Croft. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Allen now looks to throw, and the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Lorenzo Carter. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
To try again after the sack. Allen, pass caught. It's the rookie from Ole Miss, Dawson Knox. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far,
accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, 94 yards. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. On that long touchdown, look, the pass was fine, but it was short. What Saquon did after the catch, that's impressive.
And that's just demoralizing if you're on the defensive side of the ball, too, because if he catches a short one, that's your opportunity to tackle him, put him on the ground, and get up for the next down. Instead, he makes a move, he makes people miss, he runs through tackles, he spins, he jukes, and he continues to run because once he gets into the open field and turns it loose, he can fly.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Looking to throw again on second down. Allen caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now the Bills will hustle to the line. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. It's caught. Jones. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. So we've reached half. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. On second down, here's a run with Singletary. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Well, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now Allen to throw on third down. And able to find John Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. DeAndre Baker, the first corner chosen in this year's draft, there to make the play defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. To throw is Manning, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get 15 and a Giants 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From midfield, here's Manning. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And Ingram hauls it in. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go.
On play action, it's Manning. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. To throw, it's Manning. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Elsewhere, NFL scoreboard, 3rd quarter now in Tennessee. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4.
Check safety. All 52. 31's the mic. Stay with your man. 39.
Allen will try again on 2nd down. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Cole Beasley, the intended target. But now it'll be 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Now Allen. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, just like last play. A 1st down carry now for Yeldon.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Bills on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Allen. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Kevin Pierre-Louis with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. Allen now on the sneak, fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And who's got it? The Giants. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
New York set to take the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Golden Tate's gonna go. The 40, the 30, 10, touchdown, Giants. Golden Tate, 99 yards. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Check 13. Check 13.
Manning to Barkley on the draw play. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Maurice Alexander making the stop defensively. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. And now out come the Bills. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Allen. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
New York set to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The Giants on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now Manning. And that will be incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away.
Let's go, baby.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a Scotia credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's Allen to throw it. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble. Throwing on first down is Allen. And that is incomplete here. That one was intended for John Brown. That'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
Hey, high 7.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And the grab by Croft. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
30.
Hey, we got right. We got right.
Watch the roof. Go.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen, his throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the Giants, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.